Now, for years, the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressives Congress have dominated the scene and slugged it out at the presidential poll, leaving other parties far behind. This time, there are two political parties that promises to give both the APC and the PDP a tough contest. The New Nigeria People's Party is one of them, and that's the NNPP. Its presidential candidate is no newcomer to high-level politics. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is a two-time governor of Kano State, a former senator and technocrat, is the presidential candidate of the NNPP. He joins me now via Zoom from Kano. Good to have you join us.
Good afternoon, and happy Salah to you, and happy Salah to Nigerians and all our friends across the world.
Thank you very much for the felicitations. But while the Salah celebration is on, the country is still reeling from a national tragedy. I think about 2 days ago, there was an attack on the Kuje Correctional Center where we understand about 60 Boko Haram terrorists were freed. Whilst that was on, or just before that, there was also an announcement that the convoy of the president was attacked. And again, we also understand that the Nigerian Air Force accidentally bombed some villagers in Katsina. I just want to get your reaction to all of this.
Well, it's most unfortunate that our great nation can witness these calamities that happened recently and that have been happening over the years in this country. Now, this shows clearly that there are issues with security in this country to the extent that under normal circumstances, our leaders should not go to sleep or should not go on holiday. It's very unfortunate that we have so many of such things happening in towns, villages, and everywhere. Today, as we are celebrating Salah, we have our brothers and sisters in captivity under these bandits, terrorists, and other people who have decided to take arms against Nigerians. And of course, it is the primary responsibility of our governments to ensure that Nigerians are free to move around, are free to be in their houses, in roads, and so on and so forth. So, actually, what you said and what I'm saying, really, in summary, is that there is a system failure which government must work hard to address. Otherwise, as you rightly pointed out, what happened in Kuje, these criminals are now out there. Of course, it's just a matter of time that they would reinforce their brothers who are already in the bush and start attacking Nigerians. Since it happened, we have not heard anybody, especially within the government cycle, telling us those that were being arrested and so on and so forth. So this is very unfortunate. And at this point, I want to urge the federal government to do much more than what they are doing or what they have been doing, and urge all Nigerians to support the government and other security agencies to ensure that all those who have been released from Kuje prison and other places are being caught again and put in the right place. And I want to take this opportunity to urge Nigerians, especially our military and other security agencies, to work hard to ensure that such thing doesn't happen again anywhere in this country.
And I want to get to security with you in just a moment because, I mean, you were the Minister of Defense, and that's a huge part of your portfolio and your CV. But let's talk politics. Again, congratulations are in order for you. You are now the presidential candidate of the NNPP, having run unopposed. We understand no one else bought the presidential ticket of that party. It is also the first time you will be a presidential candidate, having ran on the primaries of the APC and PDP You came second at some point, but you haven't clinched the ticket until now. But the question is, there is no doubt everyone calls you a political technocrat. But what is your strategy, especially because NNPP has been there for years, but is newly reinvigorated? What's your strategy to convert your ticket into actual votes on election day? Just help me confirm if you're still there, Senator Kwankwaso.
Your ticket into actual votes on election day.
Thank you very much. You are not clear. I couldn't understand. I mean, I couldn't hear you properly. The line keeps on.
So let me just let me repeat the question.
Yeah, repeat it.
You answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was saying that this is the first time you have clinched the party ticket, having contested on the primaries of the APC and PDP. But you are now the presidential candidate of a party that is newly reinvigorated just barely a few months ago. And what's your strategy for converting your presidential ticket into actual votes on election day?
Thank you very much. If you look at the strategy of Concorsia in this country, we have been working at grassroots level over decades now, and that's our strength. And of course, you mentioned twice that I contested, and unfortunately, I couldn't get a ticket. Now that I have got a ticket under our party, New Nigeria People's Party, I believe that this time around, I will be connected with the masses, well wishers, and people of goodwill in this country. Those who believe in one Nigeria, those who believe in education, infrastructure, peace, stability, and of course, unity of the country. So I'm so happy this time around that my name will be on the ballot paper. And I'm sure many people are having sleepless nights because they know that it's not going to be business as usual in this country. And therefore, not only me and members of the NNPP, I am sure Nigerians across the country, especially those who believe in united and strong Nigeria, are very happy that this time around my name is on a ballot paper, and by the grace of God, Nigerians will come out and do the right thing. At this point, I would like to appeal to all Nigerians, especially those who are yet to put or to register to get their PVC, to go and do so as soon as possible. And also, I want to appeal to INEC, security agencies, and all those stakeholders who have one thing or the other to do with election to do the right thing this time around, because we have seen what happened in 2019, especially here in Kano, and I hope that things will not be the same again.
And let's talk about, again, we're staying on your politics. Your political opponent, you say that they are threatened, but they have dismissed the political weight that you're bringing into this election. Some of them say that refer to NNPP as a regional party. And then they also say that you are a regional power broker. They do not deny that you have the political weight, but they say that it is regional, and that NNPP lacks the structure and organization to win elections. But you insist that you can win elections. How so? Especially because you just also inaugurated your Gombe office.
Thank you very much. You see, that was exactly what some people said 30 years ago when I was contesting to become a member of the House of Reps. They took us for granted. Not only I won that election, I also contested the election and became the Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps in 1992. So also in 1998, when we wanted to contest here gubernatorial elections, many people said similar thing that they thought we would not win. Not only we won the election, but we did extremely well for the good people of Kano State. Don't forget, I lost the election in 2003 and became Minister of Defense. In 2011, I came back to Kano with no support from my party then at federal level, with no support here in Kano because the opposition party was in place. But we went to election with the young men and women without any big name in this country. And by the grace of God, we were able to win that election. And as I told you, we took 30 years to build our structure across the country. Not only the region you are talking about, you are talking of region northern Nigeria. Konkosia is a household name. And so also in southern Nigeria, Konkosia is also becoming a household name. And therefore, by extension, NNPP is becoming household name everywhere in this country. In fact, not only in Nigeria, even outside this country, in this continent of Africa, in Europe, Asia, we have offices all over the world. And I can assure you, all these people, in one way or another, they will definitely come to Nigeria in one way or the other to support our election in 2023. And let me say that I'm even happy that many people are underrating our party in this country. But I can tell you, in terms of structure, we were the first and at stage the only party that submitted the registered voters electronically from I mean to INEC. And even the two political parties people are talking about could not do that at that particular time. I don't know that they have done it now. And we have structure in all the wards, all the local governments, all the states, and of course zones. And we had our convention on the 30th of March 2022, and we have structures all in all the places at all levels. And so also our contestants are there in all the positions, and I believe probably will be the only party that will have 100% contestants from state assembly, house of reps, senate, and governorship, and of course the president. So for people who want to believe that we are not strong, well, okay, let's move and see. I'm sure they will be disappointed. And let me tell you also that the 2023 election is going to be between the masses, the telecoms of this country on one hand, and oppressors, people who have been working against our people in the over the years. So, and I'm sure you know who are the majority. And politics is always the game of number. And I'm so happy that
Yeah.
Konkoso
And we will
and
see the
therefore,
numbers you have, because again, you will be contesting against um, other candidates from different regions of the country who people also believe already have a stronghold in their regions. And so we'll see how much of a votes you can get from those regions. But there was an announcement by your party about your, I think your running mate, your vice presidential running mate, and it was what we saw was Barrister Ladipo Johnson, who is a Lagosian. I just want you to verify that for us, if you have chosen a running mate and if actually Barrister Ladipo Johnson is your running mate.
yes, thank you very much. Ladipo Johnson is one of the pillars of this party, and he is there. And of course, we are talking to many other people. We are very flexible. We are also aware that by 15th of this month, every political party must submit actual names to INEC, especially the national election. And we are working around the clock to see whether we should maintain the name that the party submitted, or if we have got any reason to change, certainly it will be by or before the 15th of this month. So that will be very clear to everybody, I believe.
So basically, are you saying that Barrister Ladipo Johnson is a placeholder, or is he actually your running mate?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. We are flexible. He could be. He may decide to change, but if we are patient enough, by latest by the 15th, that can be confirmed whether he would continue or will substitute the name of my brother Ladipo Johnson from Lagos State.
So we'll take it that he's just a placeholder for now. We're waiting for the announcement. But let's get to the issues Nigeria is dealing with at this moment. A lot of people know you as Minister of Defense, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. But your major career started as a water engineer. You have a master's degree and a PhD, which you got this year in water engineering. You worked with the Kano State Water Resources Agency, a construction agency, for about 17 years, and you became the principal water engineer in that company. So let me ask you about Nigeria's water crisis, because not many people know that Nigeria has a water crisis. The water board hasn't worked in decades. People are looking, having a borehole is for the elites. For those who live below $1 per day, they have to literally fetch water from the river and streams. So what's your solution to the water crisis in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. Let me say that I had my NYSC in 1980-81 in Ogun State. And that same year, in 1981, I left this country for the United Kingdom. And coincidentally, 1981 to 1991 is what we call water decade. And the expectation then was that by the year 1991, all water issues, especially in the developing countries, would be over. Unfortunately, we are not able to achieve that result. In fact, in many places, the situation is even worsening, and especially in this country, you see, this crisis, issue of water crisis, is not being appreciated in many quarters because we have even bigger issues. Uh, Water is so important in life. But in a situation where life is very much threatened, as we see it in this country, especially the northern part of the country, this serious issue, is at the background. But we can go around this country, most of the cities, I'm not even talking of towns and the villages, you don't have potable water supply. So also industries have not gotten enough water, and people resorted or are resorting now to the issue of sinking boreholes everywhere, and that even itself will have a devastating effect on the water balance itself in this country and in many other developing countries. So I believe that it is a very serious issue that our government will look at and do the right thing. I'm happy to say that when I was governor of Kano State twice in 1999, 2003, and of course 2011 and 2015, we tackled the issue of water supply head on because that is my professional area, as you rightly mentioned yourself. So it's very unfortunate that government at all levels, because issue of water has to do with state, federal, and local governments. So
Mm.
I'm so happy that we have now set up a committee on that
All right.
particular sector and other sectors to advise us on how best we can handle the
So,
issue
Senator
of
Kwankwaso, I
infrastructure.
really hate to interject, but I have a few minutes left. And I think it will not be right to ask you about security, especially because that's a typical challenge or the major challenge in Nigeria at the moment. You were once the Minister of Defense. Many people said that the issue of Boko Haram was overlooked even in that administration, and now it has become a tetra-headed crisis. What are you going to do if you become president to solve the security crisis. There is also the education crisis, where we have millions of children out of school, and that is also exacerbating the issues of insecurity in the country. What are you also going to do to fix the education crisis in the country?
Yes, you see, all those issues we raise are intertwined. If you don't have enough security, it becomes even more difficult for people, especially children, to go to school. And of course, if you don't have education, where you have states or a country where people are illiterate, the implication is that insecurity will be at its highest. So, governments, responsible governments, must tackle all these issues simultaneously. On the issue of education, I think that is our trademark here in Kano. And anywhere where I had an opportunity, even in the Ministry of Defense, we worked so hard in our schools across the country. So I'm sure you know that our brothers and sisters ASU on strike now, which is very unfortunate. And our government will certainly create a conducive atmosphere to sit down with ASU and make all arrangements that are necessary to ensure that during our time we will not, we will never have ASU strike. And let me tell you that for the 8 years I was governor in Kano State, even when ASU was having strike elsewhere across the country, our own ASU, in appreciation of what we were doing to them, especially in the area of education generally, they have never gone on strike for the 8 years I was in government. So this is a responsible association, people who are professors, PhD holders, and so on, people who have seen it across not only across the country but across the world. For them to be on strike is most unfortunate. So I call on government to ensure that they sit down with them and see how issues can be resolved. And on the issue of security itself, I want to once again say that the military I had an opportunity to work together with from 2020, 2003 to end of 2006. Uh, People who we always were very proud of, people who have gone not only in this country to keep peace, even in African countries. They have been, we always see them as people who have been well trained during our time, well equipped, and we are taking good care of their welfare. And they are performing extremely well. Over the years, you can see what is happening. And I think all that has to do with the political will, which government must revisit to ensure that Nigerians are secured so that we can have peace, so that we can all come together and build our nation.
Mm. Um, I'm not sure you particularly stated what you're going to do about security, but I would just let that go because I don't want to let you go without asking you this. There was supposed to be a merger between the Labour Party and NNPP, and that is now that has now stalled. Peter Obi has now chosen his own vice presidential running mate. But that didn't work because you said that you cannot be the vice presidential candidate. You have to be the presidential candidate. Do you think that you will pull more clout in this election, that by the time the votes are counted, that you will have more votes than the Labour Party candidate in this election, that you actually have more political weight than he does at this moment?
You see, let's make progress. I don't have much to say about that because we have passed that level. Where we are now is we are working across the country to ensure that people are mobilized to have their voters card. We are working very hard to ensure that all our candidates are being submitted uh, before the 15th of this month, which is the deadline by INEC. We are now working with our brothers and sisters across the country to ensure that all our offices, especially major offices are being officially opened. You know, we have offices everywhere, but we felt that we should go around the country to ensure that all the offices are being opened. So these are the issues now. You know, you have season now. We have passed the season of talking to any other party. Now we are moving to ensure that, as you rightly pointed out, NNPP gets the highest votes and have enough spread so that we don't have to go for the second ballot in 2023.
And let me ask you, if you become, and this question you probably answer in 30 minutes. If you become the president of Nigeria come 2023, if your name is announced by INEC as the winner of that election, what is the first thing you would do in terms of trying to fix the economy and ensure that young people are employed?
Yes, you see, like I told you earlier on, all these issues are intertwined, and the issue of economy is actually the product
Tito,
of other
let it be on silent.
failures that we see in this
Even
country.
Ringer.
So, of course, we'll assemble the best brains we can find in this country and even beyond to sit down and handle the issue of economy together with us. We have seen areas where government has already failed. We have seen areas that require improvement and so on and so forth. And therefore, we will work together with all those stakeholders based on professional advice by economists and so on and so forth. And right now, we have a committee that is studying the situation on the ground so that we can move very fast. Like you know, um, the government is one of the issues that we had in 2015, where government could not set up its structures, especially the ministers, until after about 6 months. This time around, like I did in 2011, within a week, we were able to inaugurate our state assembly. Within the same week, we were able to send our commissioners to them and they returned them. And we had a first meeting between Sunday that we have been inaugurated to the next Sunday. So these are issues that
All right.
must be tackled as soon as we can.
All right, thank you so much for talking to us. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, presidential candidate of the NNPP, two-time governor of Kano State, and former senator and technocrat. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much and happy Sallah once again.